Hello, everyone, and welcome to the session. Thank you all so much for joining in. I would quickly introduce myself, and before that, let me tell you that there are a lot of advancements which are happening in the current world that we're living in, right? Generative AI is one big thing which is making rounds in this world of artificial intelligence. Chat GPT and its applications have revolutionized the way we generate content, the way we write emails, the way we draft, various documents. And we have something else which is called as prompt engineering. And the business world is going gaga behind prompt engineers. And the kind of salaries which prompt engineers are getting is, mind-boggling. Let me show you a few. So salaries of prompt engineers. I think I spelled it incorrectly. Yeah. Look at that. AI prompt engineering is a new big career with an annual salary of up to 2 crores. Oh, is that true? Absolutely. That's what everyone is saying. It has become the hottest job of 2023. I still remember in 2012, data science was considered to be the hottest job. But the salaries were not like this. Look at what Geeks of Geeks have to say, Live Mint has to say, Popes has to say, India Today has to say. And this is for, newbies with minimal experience. For entry level, salaries are $70,000 to $100,000. Right? Average salary of employees working in prompt engineering is 20 lakhs. And prompt engineering is one big thing which almost all the big companies are, looking out for. And they are cautiously interviewing people and trying to hire those people who have expertise in the space of prompt engineering. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. So welcome to this world. We thought we will quickly, explain and demonstrate how the world is changing. Whether you want to get into the field of data analytics or data science or artificial intelligence, etc., prompt engineering is something which should be part of your training curriculum. And that's exactly what we have done at 360DigiTMG. All of our programs are, updated, and we have included generative AI, chat GPT, and how can you use it for Power BI? How can you use it for Excel, right? So on and so forth. The large language models. What are the various large language models? And prompt engineering. We have very much included that into our training curriculum. Having said that, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Bharani Kumar Depuru. And, you can also follow me. You cannot connect with me, not because I don't want to accept your connection, because LinkedIn allows only 30,000 connections. After you cross 30,000 connections, one should only be following you. They cannot connect. So I will be sharing this link and it'll be posted on the YouTube chat. You might want to have a look at that. And there are a lot of projects that we are doing, a lot of projects in the space of prompt engineering. A lot of people are just talking about prompt engineering and chat GPT. We've actually built applications in the space of chat GPT, and we made use of a lot of other LLMs, large language models. Okay, I'll talk briefly about that. So I have 18 plus years of experience. I am an alumnus of Indian School of Business and IIT. I work with companies such as HSBC, ITC Infotech, Infosys, and Deloitte. As part of Innodatatics, we do a lot of advanced analytics projects. And a few of these projects include the new breed of algorithms. We have made use of generative AI. We have made use of chat GPT, not for just entering some questions and then get answers. We have used chat GPT and the execution engines. We have used something called as GPT 3.5 Turbo. And we have used this engine and we have deployed the model. We have used various other large language models, such as BioBERT, BioGPT, so on and so forth. In the space of life sciences, healthcare, and our solution is live. People can use it. People are using it for that case. And we included prompt engineering concepts. So our people who work on projects are working on the latest of the things that world is talking about. And not just that, we do projects in the space of artificial intelligence. We build artificial intelligence applications. That includes, when it comes to advanced analytics, we do projects in the space of data analytics, data science, data engineering, machine learning operations, so on and so forth. And the best part with us is that once we complete doing the projects for the customers through client consent, of course, we get customer approval. That is very important, right? Once we get the client approval, we include those use cases as part of the training curriculum into 360DigiTMG. So the students will learn the real world use cases which we have worked upon. Now let's talk about a few of the projects that we have worked upon. Post that, I'm going to talk about prompt engineering and a few concepts and how generative AI, etc., is being used. We will generate images. We will generate obviously text, and then we will proceed further and see what else we can do. So here we have built models in the space of steel pipeline detection. That's me anyway. So, yeah. If you look at this, whenever the steel pipes which are manufactured are loaded onto a truck, someone manually counts number of pipes which exist here. What is the size? What is the thickness? So on and so forth. Isn't it brain drain? Isn't it underutilization of human potential? Can we not automate this process of counting? Absolutely, we can, right? And we have built an application for the client. And what this application does is, let me see if I can exactly go there and show you. Yeah, it should be somewhere here. So what happens is the moment you load your data like this, what will happen is it will start tracking. It will track the shape, the dimension, the thickness, and the count. And all these details will also get stored into the backend database. Yeah, it will get stored into the backend database because we want to constantly monitor and see whether our application is giving good results or not. That's how, the results would come up. This is a classic application of artificial intelligence in the space of steel pipe manufacturing industry. And people keep asking me whether data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc., is for only computer science professionals or is it for everyone? It is for everyone, my dear friends. And this specific project is something which we have done for a construction company. Okay, not construction company exactly, but I would say, one of the steel rods distributors. One of the company which is into steel rods distribution. Okay. So what happens here is when steel distributors, I would say steel distributors, when they want to supply the steel to the construction companies, there were days when they used to just send the standard 12 steel rods. The trend changed. There are a lot of steel distributors now, and they want to differentiate themselves. And how do they differentiate themselves? They differentiate themselves by taking this particular architecture diagram that you have just seen, right? This architecture diagram. And they will figure out how many steel rods would be needed, what should be the length of the steel rods, right? What should be the shape of the steel rods, so on and so forth. And these steel distributors, they cut the steel rods and then they send the right sized steel rods to the construction site, where people need not then, offload the big 12-meter steel rods and then cut it. They can just use already cut steel rods according to their dimensions, and they can start off with the construction. It will fast track the entire construction process. And that is exactly what we have done. But people, what they do is manually they look at what should be the size of the steel rod, what should be the thickness, everything would be written here. As opposed to manually entering all those details in an Excel sheet, we have automated the process. Okay, and automatically it will extract the data and put it in the sheet. These are a few of the amazing projects that we have been doing, right? And another project is in the space of pallet classification. There is a company which is specialized in pallet. What is a pallet in the first place? Here we go. This is called as a pallet. There is a company which is in Mumbai, headquartered in Mumbai, and they manufacture pallets. And various companies such as Coca-Cola, etc., they place an order. They might say that, what, we want 800 pallets, 1,000 pallets, and they lease it for a duration of, say, 6 months or so. After the lease is complete, they send those 800 pallets to the pallet manufacturer. They'll return it. And what will this manufacturer do? They will do an inspection of these pallets, whether the pallets are, in good condition, or should the pallets require some small repair before they put it back into the inventory, or are the pallets damaged to such an extent that it has to be dismantled? Here, this inspection happens manually, manual inspection. So people are in a hurry. They don't classify these properly. So we have built an application wherein there'll be a CCTV which will be placed just above the inventory. And as and how you keep bringing in the pallets inside, it will automatically classify whether the pallets are good, should it be dismantled, or should the pallets require repair. And then these details will be again put back into the database like this for further processing. Always you have to store the results back into the database for monitoring purpose. Then we built a lot of models because we keep working in the space of manufacturing. A lot of mechanical engineers with knowledge of data science work with us. And this is, what is this all about, right? Here, there are these machines called the Prima 13. Prima 13 machine is from Schnell Group. Schnell Group is a German-based company which has a lot of machinery. One such machine is Prima 13. This machine would actually cut the steel rods in the desired length. Now, what if this machine fails? Your entire cutting process would halt. So we have built a prediction model which will predict whether a machine will fail or not. When will a machine fail? If you come to know about these details, you can plan for preventive maintenance. You can perform maintenance of your machinery upfront. That's a super cool thing. Okay. Then we have also built projects in the space of poultry. Right? Veterinary doctors also find these kind of applications very handy. As opposed to, monitoring the, say, chicks in the poultry farm manually, or going all the way to the farm, which will be in some remote location, then figuring out what is the body temperature of the chicks, etc. You can automatically do it. I think this is the project. So our model would automatically detect the number of chicks. It would determine what should be the weight of the chick. It will classify the weight of the chick also on weight, what is the age of the chick, 2 weeks old, etc. It will capture the body temperature of the chick using thermal cameras. And then it will classify whether the chicks are healthy or sick. And we enter these details back into the database. And we also send alerts to the poultry farm owner saying that, hey, 80% of your chicks are having high temperature. Probably they are all sick. So these kind of details we will supply and we will provide. And this is also something that you might want to have a look at. Here, in any big poultry farm, a lot of eggs get produced. And keeping a manual track of how many eggs are produced is a tough task. On top of that, if you want to classify whether the eggs are white or brown, that's another headache. On top of that, if you want to also figure out whether there are cracks in the egg, that's another big headache. If you want to figure out whether there is blood stain or some kind of stain on the egg, so just think about this. The solution that we have built would try to identify all these details. That's the best part. Okay, and even if the conveyor belt moves fast, still the egg detection happens. Then we have done a project here. What was happening is there was inventory, or there is rather inventory. And in this inventory, they had, various steel rods of 8 mm, 10 mm, 12 mm, etc. And people were manually counting these steel rods and maintaining these in the inventory. As opposed to manually counting, our AI application will automatically count the number of steel rods which exist. Okay, and this is another project where this person is putting the truck chassis And then this person is doing clamping. He's closing the clamps. Right? When clamping happens, there will be 8, 9, 10 such clamps, and then the clampings will not be closed in a sequential format. It doesn't follow a sequential fashion. Randomly, you'll clamp here, then you'll clamp here, then you'll clamp there. That's how the clamping happens. So our AI-based solution would recognize who is that person, right? How the clamping is happening. If the wrong sequence is being followed, it will automatically raise an alarm. Yeah, so on and so forth. And then we have a lot of, projects that we have done. Here also, if you see, we have done projects in the space of forecasting, pharmacy forecasting. Yeah. And there are many other things that we have done. Let me show you a few things. Okay, or let me rather now, get into a few concepts and explain you a few important things. Generative AI can generate not just text. Text, you are anyways aware of it. That text gets generated. It's not just text. Images also get generated. Let me show you that. A lot of people are using ChatGPT, but you have something called as DALL-E, and it will generate certain images, such as prompt engineer getting very high salary. I'm just randomly putting something over there. However, this is not how you have to put the prompts. Prompts should be very good, right? For that, you can also do another thing. And that another thing is go to ChatGPT. Okay. And then you can say, generate a prompt for DALL-E to generate an image of a prompt engineer drawing high salary. Of course, I didn't correct this. By design, your ChatGPT should make the required corrections. So there we go. This is a prompt. So I'll copy this and I'll go here. Did it generate the previous prompt? Yeah, it did it. But, these are not prompt engineers. It generated something, some gibberish, right? So I would give the prompt which was generated by ChatGPT, and then we'll start, generating. And let's see what kind of prompts it's going to generate. Let's wait for a quick minute. There we go. So in comparison to the prompt that I've previously given, which gave me some, I would say, gibberish, here it has done a very decent job. That's what it does. You can also generate music. For example, you can go to Hugging Face music generation. Here you can say, generate prompt for rock music. I don't know. If I give only this in this description and click on generate, it would generate music. However, I want some meaningful prompt. So it has given me a prompt like this. High energy rock track with powerful electric guitar riffs, thumping bass line, so on and so forth. Now, how can we will not be in a position to generate such beautiful prompt? So you put it here and click on generate, and it will start generating the music. Music file will be generated. You can listen music and you can feel extremely happy about this. This is all unique music which is getting generated. Okay, so we'll wait. I'm not sure whether this is visible or not. There is a very pale gray color which is progressing here, and let's see how it progresses. Yep, there we go. Music is generated. Let me play. I'm really excited. It actually was giving very good music. You can just download it and listen music. Okay, what else? There is something called as crayon, which also generates a lot of images. And there are techniques such as diffusion models, which are being used in generative AI in a very big way. In a very big way. You can generate text, images, videos, music, whatnot. Okay. And these diffusion models are extremely, extremely important. All right. So this is one thing that I want you all to understand. And prompt engineering, friends, is the next big thing. As I've told you, salaries are skyrocketing. It's a combination of language skills, problem solving skills, logical thinking, right? This is an incorrect prompt, for example. What is convolutional neural networks? If you just give that on, say, ChatGPT, what is convolutional neural networks? If I just give that, sure, it will generate something, but maybe it won't be as easy for us to understand as this prompt. This particular prompt, if you give me an introduction to convolutional neural network, assume I have no previous knowledge about that, and describe the architecture in simple words with examples. If you give in that way, then it will generate something more meaningful. Here it will be all technical now. All this is very technical. Okay, applications and all that is coming up. Okay. So instead, if you give a prompt like this, and if you say that I am a beginner, I have no prior knowledge about artificial neural network, then it will give you something which will be very meaningful. Sorry. Okay, it's also giving, a few examples like, what would it capture, things, edges, color, so on and so forth. That's the difference, friends, in the prompt engineering. Well-defined prompt will have clarity, conciseness, focus, consistency. And always these are a few things that you will have to bear in mind. Then advanced topics such as chain of thought, active prompt, react and act. You can use all of those things. And what can be generated? Images can be generated. What else can be generated? Music can be generated. What else can be generated? Obviously, video can be generated. Okay, there are video generation tools. For example, Meta has this, Make a Video Studio. Okay, you can read the research paper. It's one of the state-of-the-art AI system. It will generate video from the text. You just need to give text and it will start generating videos like this. If you want something which is very realistic, that's how it's going to come out. If you want a fish swimming through the coral, so it's one step towards, content generation where we will see that future will belong to this. A lot of content will be generated, artificially. So you have 3D images which can be generated, right? You have a bunch of things which get generated. Is it much hyped or is it going to be the future? I would say this is going to be the future. Diffusion models, chat GPT applications, and large language models with prompt engineering would be the future. And I have no second thought on that. So I highly recommend you all to please upskill yourself in the space of generative AI, which, the algorithms pertaining to this are built using diffusion models. And the sooner you get your hands dirty at these, the better it would be for you all. And please ensure that when it comes to generative AI, you don't just focus on text generation as in chat GPT, but take it one step further to look at the applications. You should be in a position to use execution engines. You should be in a position to fine tune the model to your requirements. Look at how you can generate videos. Look at how you can generate images and speech or music file, yeah? And then take it forward. 3D will be the future. That is something that the world is looking up for. And all of these generative stuff that you're seeing here, for you to generate appropriate text or videos or images or speech, music, the one thing which is extremely important is prompt engineering. If you do proper prompt engineering, your businesses will succeed immensely. That's the future. Thank you so much. And hopefully I've enjoyed this short session. And hopefully you have got new insights on how to shape your career and how to progress. Thank you all once again for choosing us as your preferred education partner. Thank you.